What's popping, Yugi fam? And welcome to anyone else that wants to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! From someone that barely knows how to play the game. Hi, I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dad, aka the Dark Magician Master, aka That Dad, aka the Petty King. And today we're doing a brand new structured deck opening for the structured deck Freezing Chains. Now, this deck has Trishula, a new Trishula monster, and it's an ice barrier deck. So without further ado, let's just get right into it and see what this thing got. Alright, here we go. Let's just... this stuff. Okay, let's just have it here. Here, there we go. Let me show you guys the mat. It's pretty dope. Okay, so, you know. Here we go. This is a new Trishula monster. Nice. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Anyways, let's just put this off to the side here. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we'll start things off actually with the not very interesting back bit. This is where you get the, instructions, the rules, basics. Well, the basics of the game, right? Some Blazing Vortex promo. Just toss that to the side. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution. Love that game. I'm going to start streaming there soon again. And Duel Links, which I've partially played, but I've never really gotten into. But it's really good for beginners. And yeah. Let's check out our cards here. We got Revealer of the Ice Barrier. She's a water level 4 spellcaster effect monster that reads, while you control another Ice Barrier monster, your opponent cannot tribute summon. You can only use each of the following effects for a Revealer of Ice Barrier once per turn. You can discard one card, special summon one Ice Barrier tuner from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except water monsters. If you would discard or send a card from your hand to a graveyard to activate an Ice Barrier monster's effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead of one of those cards. Attack 1700, defense 1000. So yeah, this is going to be your main starter for the deck. She looks so pretty. Alright, here we go. We got Speaker for the Ice Barrier. She's a level 4 water spellcaster effect monster that reads, while you control another Ice Barrier monster, defense position monsters your opponent controls cannot change their battle positions. You can only use each of the following effects of Speaker for the Ice Barriers once per turn. If you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Ice Barrier token, Aqua Water level 1, attack 0, defense 0, attack 1000, defense 1800. Nice. Suijin of the Ice Barriers, level 2, water warrior effect monster that reads, you can tribute this card, special summon one level 5 or higher Ice Barrier monster from your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can target one level 3 or higher water monster you control, reduce its level by exactly 2. And if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Suijin of the Ice Barriers once per turn. Attack 500, defense 300. Winds over the Ice Barrier. It's a spell card that reads, tribute any number of Ice Barrier monsters, special summon from your deck that many level 4 or lower Ice Barrier monsters with different names from each other. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to a graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your Ice Barrier monsters that is banished or is in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Winds over Ice Barrier once per turn. Alright, here we got our brand new Trishula dragon. It's called Trishula Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier. It's a water level 11 dragon synchro effect monster that requires one tuner, 2 non-tuner monsters. And it reads, when this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 3 cards your opponent controls. If this synchro summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by your opponent's card, you can special summon one Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier from your extra deck or graveyard. Its attack becomes 3300, then have the attack of any face-up monsters your opponent currently controls also negate their effects. You can only use this effect of Trishula, 0 Dragon of the Ice Barrier once per turn. Attack 2700, defense 2000. Nice, it's a really dope looking card. Duloran, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier. It's a water, level 6 beast synchro effect monster that requires a tuner and 1+ non-tuner water monsters. That reads, you can target any number of other face-up cards you control. Return those targets to the hand, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack for each card returned to the hand by this effect until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Duloran, Tiger King of the Ice Barriers, once per turn. Attack 2000, defense 1400. Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 6 water sea serpent synchro effect monster that requires a tuner and 1+ non-tuner monsters. You can discard any number of cards to the graveyard and target the same number of cards that your opponent controls. Return those cards to the hand. You can only use this effect of Brionac, Dragon of Ice Barriers, once per turn. Attack 2300, defense 1400. Nice. Gungnir, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 7 water dragon synchro effect monster that requires a tuner and 1+ non-tuner water monsters. Once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards to the graveyard, then target the same number of cards your opponent controls, destroy them. Attack 2500, defense 1700. And you got the original Trishula. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. It is a level 9 water dragon synchro effect monster that requires a tuner +2+ non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 1 card each from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. The card in the hand is chosen at random. Attack 2700, defense 2000. Nice. General Wayne of the Ice Barrier. It's a water, level 5, warrior effect monster. Reads, spells and traps sent from the field to your opponent's graveyard are banished instead. You can only use each of the following effects of General Wayne of the Ice Barrier once per turn. If your opponent controls a monster and you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal special summoned, you can add 1 Ice Barrier spell trap from your deck to your hand. Attack 2100, defense 400. Hexa, Spirit of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 1 water sea serpent tuner effect monster. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack, defense. During your main phase, you can send 1 level 3 or lower Ice Barrier monster from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the same level as that monster until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Hexa, Spirit of the Ice Barriers once per turn. Attack 400, defense 200. I don't know why I keep saying Ice Barriers when I know it's Ice Barrier. Blizzed, Defender of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 1 water aqua effect monster. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to a graveyard, draw 1 card. Attack 300, defense 500. Cryomancer of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 2 water aqua tuner effect monster that reads, while you control another Ice Barrier monster, level 4 or higher monsters cannot declare an attack. Attack 1300, defend 0. Prior of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 2 water aqua effect monster. If you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You cannot special summon any level 5 or higher monsters the turn you summon this way. You can tribute this card, then target 1 Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard except Prior of the Ice Barrier. Special summon that target. Attack 1000, defense 400. Defender of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 3 water aqua tuner effect monster. It reads, while you control another Ice Barrier monster, monsters your opponent control cannot declare an attack if their attack is greater or equal to this card's defense. Attack 200, defense 1600. Warlock of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 3 water spellcaster effect monster. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, both players must set spell cards before activating them and cannot activate them until their next turn. Attack 400, defense 1000. Spellbreaker of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 4 water spellcaster effect monster. Once per turn, you can send one Ice Barrier monster from your hand to the graveyard. Neither player can activate spell cards until the end of your next turn while this monster is face up on the field. Attack 1200, defense 2000. Strategist of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 4 water spellcaster effect monster. It reads once per turn, you can send one Ice Barrier monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw one card. Attack 1600, defense 1600. Dance Princess of the Ice Barrier. It's a water level 4 spellcaster effect monster. Once per turn, if you control another Ice Barrier monster, you can reveal any number of Ice Barrier monsters in your hand. Then target an equal number of set spell trap cards your opponent controls. Return those targets to the hand. Attack 1700, defense 900. I actually really like her artwork. She's a really beautiful card. DUPE of the Ice Barrier. It's a water, level 6 spellcaster effect monster. If this card is normal or flip summoned, change it to defense position. Ice Barrier monsters you control cannot be destroyed by spell trap effects. Attack 1600, defense 2200. General YuGiOh of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 6 water warrior effect. When your opponent's monster effects activated on the field resolves, they must discard one card or the effect is negated, their choice. Attack 2100, defense 2300. Medium of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 7 water spellcaster effect monster. If your opponent controls 4 or more cards than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent can only activate one spell trap card each turn. Attack 2200, defense 1600. General Gantala of the Ice Barriers. It's a level 7 water warrior effect monster. It reads once per turn during your end phase. You can target one Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard except General Gantala of the Ice Barrier. Special summon it. Attack 2700, defense 2000. General Grunard of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 8 water warrior effect monster. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Ice Barrier monster in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. Attack 2800, defense 1000. GENEX Controller. It's a dark level 3 machine tuner normal monster with flavor text that reads, as a master of all powers and elements, this is one of the few GENEX monsters that can communicate with its companions. Attack 1400, defense 1200. GENEX Undine. It's a level 3 water aqua effect monster. When this card is normal summoned, you can send one water monster from your deck to the graveyard, add one GENEX controller from your deck to your hand. Attack 1200, defense 600. Aqua Spirit. It's a water level 4 aqua effect monster that cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing one water monster from your graveyard. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target's battle position, and if you do, it cannot change its battle position for the rest of the turn. Attack 1600, defense 1200. Dupe Frog. It's a water level 2 aqua effect monster. This card's name becomes Death Frog while on the field. Monsters your opponent control can now target monsters for attack, except this one. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one frog monster from your deck or graveyard to the hand except Dupe Frog. Attack 100, defense 2000. Ronin Totem. It's a water, level 2, aqua effect monster. It cannot be used as synchro material. This card's name becomes Death Frog while on the field. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one frog monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. Attack 100, defense 2000. Fishborg Launcher. It's a water, level 1, fish tuner effect monster. It cannot be used as synchro material, except for the synchro summon of a water synchro monster. If you have a monster in your graveyard other than a Fishborg Launcher, and all of them are water, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect of Fishborg Launcher once per turn. Attack 200, defense 100. Malenglacia, the Elemental Lord. It's a water, level 8, sea serpent effect monster. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by having exactly 5 water monsters in your graveyard. If this card is special summoned, discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand or their entire hand if less than 2. You can only use this effect of Malenglacia, the Elemental Lord, once per turn. If this face-up card leaves the field, Skip the battle phase of your next turn. Attack 2800, defense 2200. Silent Angler. It's a water level 4 fish effect monster. If you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters from your hand for the rest of the turn. Attack 800, defense 1400. Alright, moving on to our spell cards. Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. It's a continuous spell card. When this card is activated, you can target one level 4 or lower Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard, special summon it. While you control 3 or more Ice Barrier monsters you control are unaffected by the effects of your opponent's monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck. You can only activate one Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier per turn. Magic Triangle of the Ice Barrier. It's a spell card that reads, reveal 3 Ice Barrier monsters with different names in your hand, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy that target, and if you do, special summon one Ice Barrier monster from your hand. Medallion of the Ice Barrier. The best card in this deck, in my opinion, because it's a rota for the deck. Add one Ice Barrier monster from your deck to your hand. That is so simple. It's amazing. Mirror of the Ice Barrier. It's a quick play spell card that reads, during this turn, each time a card is banished from your hand, field, and or graveyard by your opponent's activated monster's effect, apply the following effects based on where the cards were banished from. Hand, banish up to 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. Field, banish up to 2 cards from your opponent's controls. Graveyard, banish up to 2 cards from your opponent's graveyard. Alright, Salvage. It's a spell card that reads, target 2 monsters with 1500 or less attacking your graveyard, add those targets to your hand. Surface. It's a spell card that reads, target 1 level 3 or lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua monsters in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Nice. Where Art Thou? If you control a level 1 monster, add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. During the end phase of this turn, take 2000 damage if you did not normal summon that added monster or a card of the same name after activating this effect. Alright, moving on to our Trapped. Appointer of the Red Lotus. Pay 2000 life points and reveal your entire hand. Look at your opponent's hand and banish 1 card from their hand until your opponent's next end phase. I heard hand a bunch of times. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. Fiendish Chain. It's a continuous trap card that reads, activate this card by targeting 1 effect monster on the field. Negate the effects of that face-up monster while it is on the field. Also, that face-up monster cannot attack. When it is destroyed, destroy this card. Nice. Fiendish Chain in Freezing Chains. Okay, bit on the nose, but I got it. Alright. A-Spawn. A-Spawn? Ice-Spawn. It's probably Ice-Spawn. It's a trap card that's continuous, and it reads, if a non-water monsters is normal or special summoned while you control a water monster, change that summoned monster to defense position. Nice. So it's pretty much you're not water, get the hell out of here. Mind Drain. It's a continuous trap card that reads, activate this card by paying 1000 life points. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters in the hand. Nice. It's pretty good against hand traps, so that's cool. Heavy Storm Duster. It's a trap card that reads, target up to 2 spell traps on the field, destroy them. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. Crackdown. It's a continuous trap card that reads, activate by targeting 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of that monster. While you control that monster, it cannot attack or activate effects. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. And our final card, Terror of Trishula. Apply these effects in sequence depending on the number of Ice Barrier synchro monsters you control with different names. 1+. Banish 1 card your opponent controls. 2+. Banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. 3+. Banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand. When your opponent activates a card or effects that target an Ice Barrier synchro monster you control, you can banish this card from the graveyard, negate that effect. You can only use each effect of Terror of Trishula once per turn. Nice. It's a really cool looking artwork and really cool effect. The unfortunate bit is that it's so specific. It's almost never going to resolve. But if you want one of in your deck, I mean, that's a pretty good card. And that's pretty much it for our opening for the Freezing Chain Structure deck, guys. I hope you guys like that. I did better at reading because I felt really self-conscious in my last video. Let me know what you guys think. Did I learn how to read? Did I impress you guys? I don't know. Let me know. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, of course, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Xbox, all that good stuff. You know what it is. Let me know what you guys think. I might make a deck profile for this deck real soon. But let me know what you guys think or what you guys want to play in your structured deck. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys had fun. See you next time, Yugi fam. Bye.